Hello and welcome back to the 8th episode of this Transport Fever 2 Let's Play Road to 1 Billion Road Only Challenge, and we're into the 8th episode now and we are starting to make some money. We are up to 5.5 million in income, and looking back at the last few periods, 1.6 million being our best so far. Our expenditure on the chart looks pretty bad, but at the moment it's all coming through investments. We're spending a lot of money replacing vehicles. At the end of the last episode, we replaced all of them on the High Wycombe oil line, which was a milestone because that was an extremely expensive bit of upgrading to our lines. But we are making money now. Our Market Bosworth line at the last moment was making a lot of money. And look at the finances. When that money does come through, it is an absolute whopper. Pretty consistent expenditure, usually above there, but it does depend on where the vehicles are in their cycle because they are sometimes empty. Although when you look here, it's carrying a lot of goods on this line. Oh, that's the wrong one. Market Bosworth's dropped all the way down here. There's a lot of goods being carried out on there. We look at our network actually with our lines. So we have Carnforth as our central hub to spoke out from there. And we started to make some machines because machines is not something we're supplying into the network that's needed. There is definitely demand within the network, and those machines are not yet being produced. So Carnforth Machines has got steel waiting here, which is going to go here into our network. So I'm not 100% sure about that. I don't really want to be transporting steel. Do I really care? Maybe I'll let the market decide where this steel wants to go. It is going to mean that some steel is not going to be used, and maybe that's a reason why there's no demand, because we need the planks. Now, we introduced our timber planks from our, what are they called? Yeah, our timber planks from here into our network, and they have not yet been shipped. They're still waiting on vehicles to come and collect those planks that are sat on this platform, waiting to take them into the network. But we could do with a lot more planks here. So looking at our production here, we could produce up to 400 here. Chertsey Logs has a rate of 57 at the moment with a fair few vehicles on there. But I do want to really increase the planks going into our network. So we're going to double the rate, hopefully, to 114 coming from there. And really ramp up what we're taking from this logging yard. 114 should seriously improve that. Should get us up to around 60 with that one. But then we also have another line here bringing logs from this Wolverton forest. There's a lot waiting there, and this line only has a rate of 16 because we do not have that many vehicles on there. So we could do with, I think, matching the rate that we have on that line. So we don't quite have enough money to get right up there to that. 20 vehicles is going to be about 600,000, 700,000 on that line. So we'll get the speed back up. Hopefully our income will start to come through. But I would like to see more planks being made at the sawmill here. So hopefully these vehicles coming out here are going to go off and collect some timber and start to bring that into the network. We then have the planks going into this network, which are only delivering 18 at the moment. So if we look at this line, we've got a rate of 115, and this line we have a rate of 64. Add those two together, we have about 180, let's call it. So half that, because it takes two logs to produce one plank. So we should be getting to about 90. So if we don't want to have a backup of planks here, this line also needs to increase in that rate. And it's a fair old journey that they're having to travel and bring those planks down. So we could do with duplicating those as well. And I realise we've just duplicated with... Have we duplicated with the old style? European horse-drawn carriage. Yeah, we've got the old style on there. To replace that with a new one's going to cost me another 250,000. So Wolverton Planks has got a rate of 48 now, which is not quite there. We could do with doubling that, to be honest. But they are starting to pick up all these new vehicles coming along. They are starting to pick up the planks being produced, which is very good, and hopefully they'll get on their way and start to spread out. These vehicles are the new type that we have on this line, and they're going to collect some logs from up there. And this line we have plenty of logs to be collected from here with the new vehicle type as well. So with that being done, 48, we could double again. It might be worth spending some of our money on doing that. So I think let's have a look. How many have we got? 20 vehicles. I don't know if I want to go all the way to 40. Let's do 15. We'll clone those. I don't have the money. Let's go down to we'll clone the 13 vehicles. That gets us up to 78. And is going to mean that we are taking the product that is being made there from there. So that should start to come through. Those planks will come down into this hub here, where we do have a fair few planks waiting to go on the Chertsey Good line, which only has a rate of 12. So you can see the limitation of the horse-drawn carts really starting to come into effect here. So I am going to speed the game up a little bit because I do want to get through some technology. I do want to build up some money to be able to replace that when we get there. Yeah, only being able to take 12 up on this line is going to be a problem for us. It is a long old route, even with that many vehicles. And you can see here, lots and lots of horse-drawn carts chuntering along. And a lot of the Chertsey, I've just realised, Chertsey Goods, a lot of the vehicles are of the old type. So, again, could be replaced for a substantial amount of money. But that 12 will go up to 15. And let's have a look. See how much money they do make. Can we get a full load that is on from Chertsey Goods? So this one has got nothing. Nothing. Oh dear. Nothing. Are these all the new ones? Are these new vehicles? So this one has 3. How much does this one take? It has never made any money. In all the time, in 10 years, in fact, that we have had that. So, really not got our return on investment for that one. Oh dear. So this one is 3 now. We're going to get our first income eventually when it comes through. No, not this part. 18,000, which, wow. That was only with 3 on there. So, a vehicle that was full doing that route is going to make a substantial amount of money. We've just got to make sure that the Chertsey Good line has got stuff ready to go, because when that line goes, it really makes some money. So Chertsey Goods has got plenty on there. We are actually losing some. I might put down temporarily a little. I don't want to lose out on any materials wanting to go in that direction. How is Chertsey doing in terms of supply? It's getting quite a bit of bread. We're not fully maxed out on the bread. We have not yet. Oh, we've got to level 2 here with that, so we can produce up to 200. Currently producing 63. We're not going to get downgraded at this point, but we're nowhere near the maximum that could be done here. It's been supplied by this grain line, which does deviate through the town and goes around there to drop that off there. Which just seems, it does actually, now you say it seems silly, but we do want the bread to go there rather than into the town, because that will mean that the bread can also go to other places that are connected to our network. So that's looking good. Chertsey West station with the grain here. We've got the old style vehicles, and they've got a rate of 68. And how is the farm happy with that? Is the farm happy with that? We're transporting 32%. So there's definitely capacity here for that line to do more and bring more of that bread into there. What about this one? Because if we can increase this, we'll increase the bread production, and that will make that line more profitable. So there's stuff waiting. We're transporting 34. We got a rate of 69 here with the old type vehicles. If we replace those vehicles with our new horse-drawn cart, can't transport can transport grain, which is what we're transporting on this line. So we can do a nice little. Let's have a look. There's a nice little trip with this guy. He's got the grain on the back. He can now transport 5. That's going to increase the rate on this one to 87, which is good. But we could do with a bit more because we can transport 200 on there. How's this depot looking? So the depot's not looking too bad. It could probably do with being a bit longer to allow more space on the platforms. And the Chertsey grain is coming in, dropping off 8,000. Thank you very much. With the bigger load, that will make a world of difference. So that's going to increase that, but I would like to see if we can max out this grain production. It's the only place we're getting bread, and that will make sure that we've got plenty of goods going up and down on the Chertsey goods line, which is currently full of stuff, and the Chertsey goods line does not have enough rate, so we are going to have to increase those vehicles. We only have 16 vehicles currently on the line, so we could definitely duplicate those probably twice to 46 and start to see some pretty heavy traffic coming on this line. So hopefully this depot can handle it. We've got potentially some room to add some longer platforms. Maybe I shouldn't put that depot there, or some other ones on here. We've got an unused, you see they're all on the same one. Chertsey goods and Chertsey grain. Chertsey goods could go to number 1. So now we've got them spread out on all 4 platforms. And you can see when we're looking at this, we've got the town distribution line really wants to bring in more. So Chertsey itself will eat up a lot of that bread. 88 in fact. And our rate into Chertsey, 25. Is that what we're doing here? 24, 25. Only got the 2 vehicles there, so we could definitely increase those to satisfy Chertsey and continue to grow Chertsey. So, looking at our lines, we've got a lot of blue lines, which is good. Our Chertsey goods is now not making any money. So, really variable finances for that one. We did make a lot of money in that time. Do we have cargo waiting at this end to go back down towards Chertsey? We've got nothing here that Chertsey needs, so we've not got the machines coming yet to go there. Chertsey only wants bread and machines at the moment, so it must have had a decline. Yeah, a massive decline in population. We look at the town. The emissions from our vehicles is having a big impact on the growth of the town. So I might put a waypoint in here for our vehicles to take the bypass route for the Chertsey grain line, because at the moment they are going through the town, which is going to get slowed down in the traffic and do that. So when they're going between 2 and 3, I would like them to go to this waypoint, which means they're going to take this slightly different route. Hopefully, off they go. And all the vehicles on this line, in fact, are also of the old type, so we can replace those with our new vehicles to try and increase the rate there. We're on 87. That's not really gone up, actually, with the larger vehicles, which is strange. So we want to get the production here up. So looking produce, we've not really got above the 80, so it would be great to see that not increase there. Vehicles are moving about. Excuse me. And we do have the planks. The planks are starting to build up now for the Chertsey Good line. 40 of those. And vehicles are coming in for Chertsey Grain, the new vehicles. Chertsey Goods. This little guy is going to drop off 5 bread soon. So how much does he make when he drops it off? Not made any money so far. In all the time. And he's... Oh, okay. He didn't drop any bread off. So that's interesting. He's taking the bread up. I suppose that makes sense, but why didn't he drop the bread off? Let's find another Chertsey Good vehicle. I want to see what's going on here. They must be coming from this direction. Yeah, a lot of the vehicles are going in this direction for Chertsey Goods, which is not great really, because Chertsey Good, there's nothing for you up here, guys. There's absolutely nothing here waiting at the moment for Chertsey Goods, because Chertsey is no longer demanding a lot of the stuff that I thought it was demanding before. So that growth has really had an impact. Lots of transport connections, so that is surprising that we've had that growth, but we are getting more bread in, which is impacting there. If I have a look at my vehicles in this area, they are a very good condition generally. Let's have a look. Do we have any that are really poor? We've got the Chertsey to Keynsham. That's just the one vehicle. Surely that can't be doing too much to affect the pollution, because it's heading in such a long direction. Only going 7 miles an hour over here. It is climbing the hills. You can see the impact that an incline has on the speed. We're down to 6 miles an hour. So that's really going to affect the income of this vehicle with having to slow down. So it would be great that if we get further forward and we are able to have some proper lorries. So Chertsey really struggling with... The bread is having an impact, but the emissions are poor. And I suppose the vehicle types that we have, we've got lots running around in the loop lines. Loop A, I only got 3 passengers on at the moment. So there's potential to scrap that line. We are starting to lose a bit of money. It's not really making as much money there. So I think if we take a vehicle, let's have a look at the vehicles. Do we have any that are empty on the Loop A line? Just the one vehicle which is empty. Maybe that's the one. I think I'm going to get rid of that one. And just reduce the flow there. We want to make sure that these are full on that line. Because we're adding to pollution to Chertsey with that vehicle running around this town centre, causing that pollution. Yeah, we do need to get some machines in here. Are we producing machines yet, and are they heading for where we want? So not yet got any planks into our network. Do we have any ready to go? Any planks here? We do have some for Carnforth machines, so it is working. We are getting some logs in there. Maybe good to get some more logs into the system here. Got an 86 production of logs here. But that is pretty much going to our tools factory, which is going into Berkhamsted. Berkhamsted is getting some tools, so it is growing. So we do have an excess of tools at Stockton, waiting to go to Stockton. They really want to send their tools to Stockton for some reason, and not much is getting there yet. So Stockton Goods has got only the one vehicle, so that rate is just never going to keep up with what we are hoping to get there. So let's change that to 4. It's going to get to 10 there. I think that should do for now. Obviously, Stockton requires construction materials, so there might be some construction materials being delivered here as well, waiting to go to Stockton Goods. Berkhamsted Goods is looking to take it down into our Carnforth cargo hub. So there's a fair bit of tools there. So tools are the production line of tools is working. I do like how that's working. But the planks need to get to our machine factory for sure. They're storing up the steel, so they will go as soon as they get that done. Have they? They've not produced a single thing yet. Are there any vehicles coming in that have got planks for me? Nothing really. If I look at Carnforth Machines, is it carrying? It is carrying planks now, so that is starting to come through. Chertsy's now demanding goods again and fuel, so we do need to keep Chertsey above that level where it is demanding, because if we don't pull, then it will not get produced and we will not get paid. So we need to make sure that that is being done. Where else? Berkhamsted Goods is really flying. That line is absolutely flying. There's lots of stuff waiting to go on that line, in fact. And there's a lot of oil here for the secondary crude, which is only looking to go here. We've got a rate of 19, but there's a lot of oil there, so we could manage those vehicles. We replace them first of all. Get that up to 25, and then duplicate that up to probably about 48. And we hopefully will see more crude oil and refined oil being taken into the system there. Okay, so any other towns that we need to connect the demand from our spoke? So we have at the moment, if we look at the lines, and I make this smaller, we have Chertsey connected, we've got Keynsham connected with a little depot on the outside that is connecting Keynsham in a nice way. So that is connected. Wolverton and Greenlays does not currently have any kind of delivery of goods, and it might be worth to connect it into this depot here over the bridge to pull some of the goods there, make sure we have that demand for goods, because we lost out when Chertsey shrank. And I know it might shrink if it doesn't get any goods again, but I'm thinking it'd be better just to make sure we have a sure demand pulling through the system. So we need a drop off from this depot and have Wolverton and Greenlays connected with its freight. So we'll pop a station there. We need to find ourselves a vehicle depot nearby. And we'll buy a couple of these for now, just to get Wolverton and Greenlays connected into our hub. We want to get all of our towns connected in with the goods in this playthrough, so let's make sure that that is happening. So that's Wolverton and Greenlays. We can now go over to Honiton. Now Honiton also is relatively close to this line here. Now interestingly, there is, what are we bringing down here? We are bringing steel down there, we're bringing plastics from there. Is there anything, if we bring goods up from here, what could we take down? What might be good to take down? There's obviously crude oil there. Is there a refinery that's nearby that might want to... there's a fuel station here. Now maybe we connect it in, have a couple of vehicles doing that route. Of course it could go this way as well. Bringing the goods up that way and bringing back... What could you bring back for me? What is needed down here? There's no logs down there to bring that into here. Oh, we've got a new train. The BR89. Not going to be using it in this current playthrough. There's lots of grain farms around here. And there is a bread factory up there. But I don't think at the moment there's nothing really screaming out to me to say bring up this way. So I think what we'll do is we'll just connect Honiton in and make sure that demand is connected with some cargo vehicles, because we want poor little Honiton to have some, you know, some economic potential. We do need a little station actually, cargo station here, and we need to go back to our lines. Oh dear, that's very small. We do need to add in. I'll stop there, and this is our Honiton goods. Just going to start to bring and connect that demand, so that's going to pull. It will pull on some of the goods that are being produced here. There's plenty of demand should be now showing for this goods factory, which has got absolutely loads of steel, but not enough oil, not enough plastics. Everything in this plastic factory is now connected. But in terms of refined oil, it's not coming through, and we were bringing that from, I think it was in here. So again, the demand is not pulling quite through in our network just yet. So we might have to push some more crude oil into that network, because it is being distributed elsewhere. There's a nice little refinery here, which is quite well near to Jarrow. We could actually bring refined oil down into the cargo hub and then bring some of those materials back to Jarrow, which I do like the look of. So I think that's what we're going to do, and I'm going to do this a bit backwards this time. So we're going to bring and drop some material in Jarrow, but we are also going to pick up, bring it there, and we're going to pick up some refined oil. We're going to pick up refined oil. And we're going to bring it into our Carnforth cargo hub. So our cargo hub is here. We need a new line. I'm going to go for 10 vehicles. And we're going to connect Jarrow into our network. So we're going to come from here. We're going to take it to Jarrow and drop off. And then on the way back, I would like you to pick up some refined oil. And I forgot to name the line. So this is our Jarrow goods, we'll call it, even though we're picking up some oil on the way. This is really connecting Jarrow into our central hub. It is quite a long way. And maybe we should, maybe we'll make a little depot outside Jarrow and connect in Harworth as well. But for the time being, I just want to connect in these two refineries here, who should be able to supply this, these two oil wells that should be able to supply this refinery. So we can do that now. Let's build a nice depot there. We'll build a depot there to avoid the turn. And we're going to come down here. So that's got a nice straight route. Potentially do with another road across there. Because that is quite a long way. Oh, and that might be why we've gone around. Now I'm looking at my money, and I do have the money for a tunnel. So I'm going to build it. I'm going to build that tunnel, and I'm going to have zero regrets about building that tunnel and this bridge. So it's our largest civil engineering project to date. There are no... We could build a bridge like this, but there are no boats on this mission. So, you know, we don't have to worry about that. So we need to get some oil into here. Where's our nearest depot? Let's buy some vehicles which can transport some crude oil from here to here. And this will be our Upper Jarrow crude. And we also need a line from our vehicles that are going to go and pick up from this one. So we'll go, can you get yourselves to this depot and bring that from Jarrow West? So Jarrow West crude. It would be nice in Transport Fever 3 if they automatically named the lines. I feel like everybody does this where they rename the lines. So that would be a nice feature if any of the developers are watching. And we need 3 platforms here because we do have 3 vehicles coming in. So we'll drop those onto other terminals. And hopefully we'll start to produce some oil, which will help connect in. I am going to make a little change, however, to our setup here. I would like an out-of-town depot here, a Jarrow hub, I should say. And I'm going to connect. So if I look at the Jarrow goods, I actually want you to go to, instead of Jarrow, where are you going? Queensway. Instead of Queensway, I would like you to go to here, and then I can get rid of Queensway. Just pause that a moment. And I would like you to send out just a couple of vehicles to transport from that hub into Jarrow. So that is going to be our Jarrow distribution from the hub into the town, minimize the traffic. Hopefully, I feel like Jarrow also would benefit from a little bypass here to avoid some of the traffic that's coming through. We connect that in there. And if we look at the lines we've got in this area, see that one now can go off there without going through the town as it was before. A little bit more efficient. And we can now connect in Harworth and Burcoats into that line. So again, what we can do now is if we connect a line that's going to bring material to there, we can potentially look at what materials in this area might be useful for our network. That might be tools, it might be steel. We've got plenty of stuff that needs transporting. Also plastics, which might be nice to get there, but we've got the refinery here. So let's start to move vehicles from... Let's start to move cargo, I should say, from our line in Jarrow to Harworth and Burcoats. And we do need a cargo drop-off. There's quite a lot of industry in this town, so that is healthy. And we can look at our line. It keeps making it small. We can look at our line here. Is this the one? This the one. Manage the line. Jarrow East. And I want you to head to Stanley Road. And this will be our Harworth goods. And that will mean that Harworth is now connected into the hub outside of Jarrow. We're not currently picking up anything from there, but I'm okay with that. Let's see how we go. So Market Bosworth to Jarrow is using an old stagecoach, so I might upgrade that while we're at it. We want the passenger lines, don't we? We want to replace that with a new fancy automobile, and we'll clone that as well because we seem to have the capacity for that. So that's Jarrow, that's Harworth connected. Market Bosworth is already connected. We've got the out of town hub here, which is absolutely jam-packed. And then we've got another line that goes out to High Wycombe. So High Wycombe is connected. Ongar is one of the towns that is not connected. And that might require some configuration with what we're doing with High Wycombe. So we might be better off having a out of town stop at High Wycombe, which we already have here. So High Wycombe fuel is bringing in here. So we just need to connect actually that High Wycombe line to Ongar, and Ongar will be connected. So let's look for a place we can buy some vehicles, some cargo vehicles, and let's send a handful of vehicles out from our depot out here to our Ongar there, but it will not let us do it because I've used the wrong double stop. So let's pop the stop here. Let's go back to our line. and make sure we add the correct stop in this time. I keep doing this, which is, you know, kind of annoying. But there we go. So that's our Ongar goods line. So Ongar is now connected to the network. Where else do we need to go to connect in? I'm going to pay back some of the loan actually, because we're sitting on money. I'm not spending it fast enough just now. So that gets our loan down to 7 million. That'll help reduce our interest payments. And that will help us build up more money and get to a better outcome faster. So we have here Barrow Furnace and Frodsham, which both are, I would say, closest to Market Bosworth Hub. So we could potentially connect a couple of lines in here. We have got a bit of a traffic jam at Market Bosworth Goods. Are they waiting for a full load anywhere? No. What are they waiting for? Is there anything? There's nothing on the Market with Bosworth Goods. They are dropping off and at this point, but everything wants to go to High Wycombe. But we might see if we can distribute some of that potential, those potential goods out towards Frodsham, and we could, again, once we've done that, we can start to look at supplying in. So we're going to build an out of town. What are we going to build an out of town? Where's the industry in this place? Industry's on this place. I might actually build just a 2-stop cargo hub here. There. Connect the road across here, which hopefully will highlight. No, it's not really capturing as much of the town as I thought it would. No, I'm going to delete that. If I'm going to send stuff into a town, I really want it to go right in there and deliver. I also need one over in Barrow Furnace. A nice one there. So the question is now, looking around, there's some coal and steel, which you could get the steel into the network going that way. Might be a really good idea. So I think what we'll do is we'll have a steel to... it seems silly. It does seem a bit silly to send steel here for it to go out there. And to have a little one into Barrow Furnace. Do we just have an in-town depot? If we have steel here going that way and then goods being brought that way, as long as we're connected to this steel mill, we won't have to double touch there. So we can do that, put that depot there. We do need to connect in this road out here. Otherwise it's a long old detour. So we'll connect in that road there. So now we can bring steel into Market Bosworth with, let's get 8 of these. We'll connect you in here. And we'll bring you to here. So Barrow Furnace goods. And we'll look to take those goods from there with just a couple of vehicles into Barrow Furnace proper. So we'll collect from here, we'll head there, and that will be our Barrow Furnace distribution line. So that's going to get material into Barrow Furnace, get that demand communicated through. We still have out here in Frodsham, and in Frodsham we could deliver bread back into the network or along that route, which would be consumed elsewhere. There's a grain store here, which is very, very close. So I'm going to do the same thing as I've just done before. Pop in a depot close to the grain factory, which will be our out of town depot. We'll cut across here to avoid the town. for this one. And we will, I'm going to build another road depot down here because I don't have one nearby, even remotely nearby. So we'll pop a road depot down here. We will buy 10 vehicles to, oh, run out of money. Oh, back to loaning. We will buy 10 vehicles, which will be our goods line for Frodsham. So we'll go from Frodsham all the way out to Market Harbour. So this can be a long old line for Frodsham. And then we need to take in from here. I know a lot of this seems like I'm doing this in a really efficient and haphazard way, but I think what I'm focusing on at the moment is just purely connecting up the towns with our Frodsham distribution, and then I'll focus on efficiency, you know, try and balance up the demands and increase production. But at the moment, I just want to get everywhere connected in some way to a line. So that's those two done. We've done Honiton, we have done Wolverton, Barron Furnace is done, High Wycombe's done, Market Bosworth's done, Ongar is done, Jarrow is done, Harworth is done, Stockton-on-Tees is not done. So this corner of the map needs doing. We've got Dawley and Stockton-on-Tees. We might do some out-of-town depots there if there's any material we want to do. But that is just remind me of something I said not 5 minutes ago, that we wanted to start moving some bread around Frodsham. So if we bring in grain from here, they will start to push that into that network, which I think will be a great thing. So I'm going to make it slightly more efficient by cutting across here and cutting out the need to make as many turns. So we'll go straight in there towards the depot. We will pick up from this grain mill here with just the one platform, and we will put some vehicles on this line. So I'm hoping we don't need so many. I'm going to go with 6 of the nice new horse-drawn carts, and we'll take that into the bread factory. So we can call this Frodsham Grain. So Frodsham Grain is a new line, and already grain starting to flow from this farm. So this farm is relieved. He was waiting for many, many years for grain to come to be transported from his little farm over here. So grain is 2 to 1, so we could do with some more grain from somewhere else. Could take it from down here or one of these up here. But we're not putting the grain actually on this line, so actually we can just rely on this one. It's only got 200, but unless we're transporting 200, then I'm not too worried. So our Frodsham Grain can do 45 currently. That's not bad actually. Quite a high frequency, should build up with that. With only the few vehicles we've got, 45 means we're going to be producing about 20 bread, 20 food on that line. So if we can, oh, I'm running out of money again. I was too quick to pay back my loan. I was too quick. Let's have a look at our lines. Are we hemorrhaging money anywhere, or are we just not making enough money? Oh, Market Bosworth Goods is still a line that goes from being absolutely crazy profitable to being not at all profitable. There's stack loads of goods on there, but we're just waiting for them to do that. There's 68 vehicles on that line, so oh dear, have I overdone it with that one? I mean, what's the rate? 60. It's only 66, so each vehicle has only given me a rate of 1, which I want to get out of the horse-drawn cart age. I think we are approaching it now. We're into the 1880s, mid-1880s. Road vehicles will start appearing, I'm sure, pretty soon. If my memory of history serves me right, we'll start to see the internal combustion engine very, very soon. So, terms of our towns, let's have a look. Town statistics. High Wycombe is doing well, getting quite a lot of fuel. In terms of growth, which town is growing the most? So Chertsey and High Wycombe. They have grown better in the past, I'll be honest. And they have leveled up here. They have been up to about 400. So, you know, not the best thing in the world. Still not quite matching the demand for bread in Chertsey, and the production is ever high, so we are losing bread there. So maybe there's capacity for to do more. What's the demand in Chertsey? The demand is 94, so I think we could almost match that. If I take 3 vehicles and clone those, money again. Wow. Oh, we might need to do something about my lines. I am losing a whole lot of money on this Market Bosworth line. Why? It just goes from being my most profitable line to being absolutely atrocious. So Market Bosworth goods comes all the way down here to the cargo hub. Oh my word, my cargo hub has froze. My cargo hub has froze. I need to pause. This is why I'm losing money. Oh man, this nearly broke. What is happening here? Oh dear, 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 dear. Dear, dear, dear. Look at the vehicles waiting to get in here. Oh my word, it's happened again. Oh my goodness. This cargo hub situation is absolutely not working. What is going on? Where are you all trying to go? Who's blocking this line? Who's blocking it? You want to go... Oh my word. Oh, can we do something silly here to affect what is happening? So where is the blockage? Where is the end of this maze? So you want to come in. You want to come this way. Where do you want to go? They all seem to want to go in a loop. Oh, this is not something you get with trains. You do not get these kind of absolute standstills with trains. I just don't know. Do I need more entrances? And I'm going to need some money. I'm going to have to borrow to get out of this mess. Absolutely going to have to borrow to get out of this mess. I am going to need to do something. I think we're going to have to put some more exits and entrances on here. Let's have a look. So vehicles like to load on their right. So I would actually like them to come in on this side and leave on that side. So I'm going to configure this. I'm going to delete this road. I'm going to configure this cargo hub to remove. What we'll do is we'll stick these on this end. And I'll get rid of the 2 here. Then I'm going to put an access or 2 on there and put a lot of exits all along here. Now I can't seem to get rid of this one, but I could get rid of this road. And then will that let me configure and get rid of that? That's what I want to do. So I want to put all my exits on there. And I'm also going to get rid of this road here as well. And I'm going to ask them all to come down from there. Do we need to go straight across? Let's see. How does this look? Well, you come straight out. Will you come straight out? Or will it just create a clog here? Hmm. You go there, and then you also come in here. You go there, and you so come in here. And you go there, and you go there. Go. Let's get rid of this one. We'll put you here, like the others, and you will come in, and you can... Won't quite go. So let's... You go straight down. So there's all my exits. I have an entrance here and an exit there. And I need to connect in this one up to here. And this one down to here as means to get in and out. Now, looking at where everything is going, lots of different directions to get out now. And we can potentially use that 8th platform as well. So I like the look of that. That works really well for me. I'm going to play this and see if that, what I have done, does anything for the traffic here. So we are starting to get a bit more industrial with our flow here. Oh, I seem to have done it. So far, so good. Vehicles are moving. Shipping is being shipped. It is a busy, busy place here. Is everybody okay to use all the lines? Yeah, this cargo hub is becoming actually crazy. I wonder if I need to split this into two. Can you split this into two? I need to see more vehicles leaving this depot. They're all filling it up at the moment. And that is worrying me that we're going to come into that scenario again where vehicles are not leaving. So we've got one leaving. So that's good. We have got money coming in. We can temporarily repay our loan until we need that money again. And vehicles are now stopped here. Oh, can we need some more? I'll tell you. 2-lane roads might be in order. Or a 4-lane road. Definitely need some way to pass through. This busy, busy area. It's all a bit ad hoc at the moment. I definitely need to do some research, find out how to better get vehicles through this, because there's just so many vehicles in this central cargo hub. It is not working at all. We do have vehicles leaving though, so that has got to relieve some of the pressure. Let's speed that up. Let's see if this changes things. So we do have vehicles passing with the 4-lane, which works really well here. So that is a lesson learned. The 4-lane traffic is great. Don't know what this one's queuing for. Oh, they're all waiting to come in here. But, you know, traffic does seem to be flowing. When this does flow, though, it is a thing of absolute beauty. And we are making money. We are way off our billion. Way off our billion. But we are on our way to paying back the loan, which is nice. So we just need to see all these vehicles come through. And our lines are now starting to go blue. Market Bosworth's back on the top. What you like to see. Chertsey Goods will have been affected by this, but it was carrying a lot of empty carts when we put some new vehicles on, so that's going to have had an effect. Oh, this traffic is kind of crazy. So they're all bunched up as well, which is not what you want to see. Hopefully, as this releases, they'll start to disperse a bit as well. So they are bringing in some good money, 25,000 sometimes for a load. That's quite nice to see. 38,000 for that one. 38,000 for that one. Oh, nearly. The noise as well. The ching ching. I don't know if you can hear it, but the lovely ching chings, ching chings. Timeless sound effect of success in Tycoon games. So it is all coming through. Maybe more vehicles was not what we needed. Oh dear. So there is flow. There seems to be enough exits and entrances here. We've still got a little bit of a queue of carts to come in. That is backing way up over there. But we are paying back our loan. And I suppose once you bunch it up like this, you do lose value with the time spent sat in the depot. But what's nice is you get a big boost in your income when they all start to come in. So let's just hope this, long may this continue. This is maybe like the 5th time I've had all like complete traffic stop in the depots. I think we had one down at this cargo hub where I set this janky design up, but that's been pretty good so far. Yeah, I think it's a difficult one because it's quite hard sometimes to see where those challenges are coming from. And I suppose the more complicated your design of the cargo hub, I mean, with this you can't really, one in, one out, you can't really have a blockage. You can have a big queue, but you can't have a complete stop. So, you know, there's a lot to be said for the simple depot, to be honest, because the more complicated these depots are, the more it seems there are opportunities for complete and utter breakdown. So it's just something to bear in mind of. We all love absolutely massive, complicated cargo depots, but they definitely need to be well managed, better managed than what I've been doing on this playthrough. That is something I've learned for sure. So we've been able to repair our loan. We're now down at £6 million, which is good. Our finances are back on track. We've hit over the 7.5 million mark, which you love to see. And yeah, we continue to make progress. In this episode, we've had all of our towns, apart from those in the sort of southwest area down here, they're still not quite connected. So we can do that in the next episode. But pretty much all our towns now are connected in some way to the main goods line, which is pulling demand through. We've managed to clear this traffic jam-ish. It is still flowing. I don't really know what everybody's waiting for here. Where are they all going? Where are you going? What are you waiting for? You're filtering into one lane is what's happening. Filtering into one lane. But they are moving. Having to wait for a few times for vehicles to cross over here. It is starting to clear. We've cleared that one. We've cleared that one. We've built a road to absolutely nowhere here. Oh, we deleted that, didn't we? So this definitely needs to be reconnected into our network. If we had any money. So I like to pay back the loan as fast as possible, but sometimes it does get a little bit annoying when you can't build the road you want to build. But we've got, we briefly had the money. I'll just quickly loan that and build this road. It's the most difficult thing I've done all episode, and it is this road. Done. All right, I'll see you in the next episode.